Because for us, fighting occupies the body, while our minds work out the rest.
What the?
Because
Are we about to finally see Tyr fight?
you're not ready. Yet.
Oh, wait, pause.
I remember just a few years ago, I said this about Tyr. People are sitting here witnessing the story of God of War Ragnarok. The only thing they're going to see Tyr as is a tool for Odin to have the upper hand on the hero characters.
Statement withdrawn.
I've heard from a bird one time that the best things in life are free. And all my life I thought this was a fallacy. Until today. Santa, you definitely did your thing here. One of the main aspects I find very interesting about this DLC is the redemption of the character Tyr. Tyr is a character who has gone through his highs and lows throughout the Norse saga. In 2018, he was a legend, a myth. In Ragnarok, he was a fraud, then turned into a yoga instructor. But now, we finally get to see the real Tyr. And for me, he has exceeded expectations. Not only is he a preachy old spiff, not only does he showcase the combos and why he's the god of war, not only does he help out Kratos with his mental turmoil, but he saves the entire God of War franchise. Avatar Tyr has invited Kratos into the ultimate therapy session, Valhalla. Valhalla's existence serves two different purposes. The first one is to set as an expansion and possible transition to the very next chapter of Kratos' story, and the second one is to improve the God of War Ragnarok gameplay loop. In Vanilla Ragnarok, the combat is held back by all of the story, all of the walking, all of the grinding, all of the Atreus. But in Valhalla, we finally ditch that little ass kid and revert back into that old school arcade-like gameplay. And I'm talking about that type of gameplay where you walk in a room, kill, open the chest, walk in a room, kill, open the chest, walk in a room, kill, open the chest. This truly allows the combat to get the shine that it deserves. And low-key, based off of the state of gaming, they could have just stopped the DLC right there, because remember, this shit was free. But these sons of bitches decided to take it a step further and giving us the ultimate fan service. And who do we have to thank for sending us to Valhalla? You could not have told me back in the day when he was doing those meditation and Tai Chi moves that this is what he had in mind. I'm sitting over here calling him a disappointment while he was carefully calculating how to save the entire God of War universe this whole time. One of the most appealing aspects of Tyr's character is how he serves as a mentor to Kratos in this DLC. He shows him a new way by giving him a different perspective on his story that both he and some of the fans didn't realize. Some people, including Kratos, still had this notion that back in his youthful days he was so evil, such a vengeful monster, and oh, now he's just a new man, a changed person. And I made a video back in the day challenging that simple ass mindset, and then some people had the audacity to disagree with me. Okay, let's see what Tyr had to say about it.
For what is a memory apart from our perspective on it? You know the evils that came of your path. You know the evils within yourself. Yes, these you dwell on. But it's not that simple, is it?
The Horde is vast, brother. What would have happened if you didn't stop it?
You would excuse my actions.
Excusing them is not the exercise, Kratos. Only accepting them. Accepting that you acted based on what you knew then, not on what was to come. Your motivation and their consequences are far more complicated than you let yourself believe.
You can't disagree with the Avatar now. Like, come on. Tyr has given Kratos his very own Silent Hill while serving the role as a pyramid head, giving him this opportunity to work through the trials and tribulations of his mind so he can be mentally ready to become the next God of War. Tyr could have easily came back and said, okay, I'm about to be the God of War again, but he's more wise than that. He knows his place in the grand scheme. He knows that when Odin and Asgard were in their prime, aka when the world needed him most, he vanished. But you can't say the same for Kratos. Kratos has been here this whole time, killing all the evil gods, causing Ragnarok, being that ruthless force of nature and destruction that everyone needed. And we know that everyone is going to have that "what have you done for me lately" mentality. This leads us to some more questions, like, what does Tyr get out of helping Kratos? And why do we need more gods? Why do we need a God of War especially? Isn't war the main thing that we're trying to avoid, especially after Ragnarok? And I believe that these two questions can be answered with two concepts: balance and purpose. While the destruction of Asgard can be justified, you still cut off the head of the Nine Realm Spider. All of the gods that was running shit up to this point need to be replaced. And so far we got Freya, Sif, and Hildisvini. Every great nation needs military prowess in order to prevail and prosper. And sure, Freya could definitely fit this role, and she has, but she's already doing so much about herself. This is supposed to be a pantheon, and we all know who better suits this position. Both kindness and might are needed to successfully rule over the lands. And this is what the work is all about: achieving that perfect balance between the hope and the chaos that is within Kratos. Because at the end of the day, balance is life. Accepting your past, being vigilant of what to come, and being benevolent to the people. This is how they restore balance, but they also restore purpose in both Kratos and the entire God of War series. One of the most primitive ways that people try to respond or deal with their trauma is by withdrawing themselves from everything, the outside world, not giving neither themselves or anyone around them another chance. And according to the God of War universe, these gods, these larger than life beings and creatures, are not excluded from this fact. We all know that Kratos in the Norse saga is a passive character for the most part, without any ashes to spread or any child to guide and protect. He really serves zero purpose.
If there's an upside to this Valhalla madness, it's good to see you in action again. You're already more your cheery self than I've seen in moons. Without Atreus or a fight in front of you, I wondered after your well-being.
Combat can be clarifying.
The main theme of the God of War is to be better. And what Valhalla and Tyr does is shine light on a very critical question. Have you really gotten better, or have you just gotten stagnant? If the young Kratos has done both bad and good things, then isolating yourself and running away from the music is technically not an improvement. You can argue that his actions in God of War 3 were heroic. He killed all the gods who were corrupted by fear, and then at the end sacrificing himself, giving hope back to the lands, giving them an opportunity to rebuild. But now you can actually be a better god, a god that you choose to be, a god that people will need and look to when all else is lost. Valhalla was extremely necessary because without this development, God of War Ragnarok would have been the last we've ever seen of Kratos, and Atreus probably would have been the one to take up the mantle. But with Kratos giving himself another chance, the possibilities for the future of this series are endless. And who do we have to thank for getting us to this position? Tyr, I would like to apologize for everything I said about you back in the day. I didn't know. But your inclusion in this DLC has made you one of my favorite characters in this series. You've really opened my eyes, and I can't wait to see what's in store for you next.
We will bear the weight of our mistakes, not with guilt, but with footsteps heavy with purpose. Come, we have work to do.
But as you all know, I gotta hate on something. How the fuck they gonna have Helios in this game, but you can't blind people?